In this video, I'm going to lay out the roadmap for how AMD stock could reach $1,000 per share. This isn't just talk, it's absolutely something that can happen, and I'm going to show you how. We'll walk through the exact math that gets AMD from around $256 today to $1,000 by 2030. I'll show you the three phases you can track quarter by quarter, the billion-dollar deals already signed and deploying right now, and the 5 risks that could break the entire thesis. By the end, you'll know exactly what has to happen, what to watch for, and whether this belongs in your portfolio. Let's dive in. Right now, AMD trades around $256 with about 1.63 billion diluted shares, roughly a $418 billion market cap. To hit $1,000 a share, AMD needs to grow into a $1.6 trillion company. Unrealistic? Not if management delivers on what they just promised at Financial Analyst Day on November 11th. Lisa Su laid out a bold 5-year plan, over 35% company-wide revenue growth, 60% data center growth, and 80% growth specifically from AI data center products. They're targeting over $20 in non-GAAP earnings per share within 5 years, up from around $4 expected for 2025. If AMD actually earns $20 a share and trades anywhere in NVIDIA's 50 to 70 times earnings multiple during its AI run, that puts the stock between $900 and $1,400. That's the math behind the $1,000 bull case. It's not built on hype, it's built on execution. Let's talk about the catalysts already turning AMD's roadmap into reality. The biggest spark came from AMD's partnership with OpenAI, a 6 gigawatt GPU deployment plan. This is the largest AI hardware deal ever outside of NVIDIA. 1 gigawatt of MI450 GPUs will go live in the second half of 2026, scaling up to 6 gigawatts over multiple generations. We're talking tens of billions in revenue potential. And here's the kicker. AMD issued OpenAI a warrant for up to 160 million shares that vests as deployment milestones and stock price targets are hit. In plain English, OpenAI literally profits when AMD's stock rises. They're partners and now co-investors in each other's success. That single deal kicked open the door, and Oracle jumped in with plans to deploy around 50,000 MI450 GPUs starting in the third quarter of 2026. Meta is already using AMD hardware for Llama inference. The Department of Energy, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE have all committed to multi-billion-dollar AMD-powered AI infrastructure projects. Here's the 3-phase roadmap to $1,000. Phase 1 is happening right now, 2025 into 2026. AMD's data center growth is accelerating fast. Expect the first OpenAI deployments and Oracle's Helios racks to ship next year. If EPS exits 2026 around $4 to $5, the stock could trade in the $350 to $400 range. Phase 2 from 2027 through 2028 is where the story goes vertical. AMD launches the MI500, the so-called NVIDIA killer generation. By then, AMD's ROCm platform, basically their version of NVIDIA's CUDA AI software, finally reaches full compatibility. In plain English, developers will be able to train and run AI models on AMD chips just as easily as they do on NVIDIA. Combine that with EPYC CPUs capturing more than half the server market, and you've got the moment AMD's ecosystem truly comes alive. If that happens, revenue could hit $60 billion annually, driving $8 to $10 EPS and $600 to $700 share price. Phase 3, 2029 to 2030, is the moonshot. Agentic AI workloads dominate, and AMD becomes a backbone of global compute. Data center revenue could top $100 billion with earnings above $15 a share. If Wall Street still awards a 60 times multiple, you're looking at a $1,000 stock price. But before you start counting your profits, let's get real. There are 5 risks that could blow this up. First, competition. NVIDIA's moat is still massive. Plus, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft are building their own AI chips. If hyperscalers go fully in-house, AMD's market shrinks. Second, execution. The MI450 and MI500 must launch on time and outperform in the real world. If ROCm can't match CUDA's ease of use, developers won't switch. Third, margins. If chip supply floods the market, pricing power evaporates and profits shrink. Fourth, geopolitics. AMD depends entirely on TSMC for advanced nodes, so any tension with China or Taiwan is a direct risk. And fifth, macro risks. If AI spending slows in 2027 or 2028, even great companies will stall. So yes, the upside is massive, but there are real world risks. Keep them on your radar. So where does that leave us? Let's tie this all together. AMD today sits around $256, worth about $418 billion. Management is guiding for 35% growth, over 60% data center growth, and over $20 EPS in 5 years. The math checks out. The deals are real. The momentum is building. Is $1,000 guaranteed? Of course not. But if the AI supercycle runs through 2030 and AMD keeps executing on MI450, MI500, and ROCm, this could be one of the best bets in the market. If you're bullish, here's the simple playbook. Buy the dips you can emotionally handle. Stay around 220 to 240. Hold through volatility. Let the roadmap prove itself quarter by quarter and size it smartly. 5 to 15% of your portfolio, not half your net worth. Now it's your turn. What's your AMD 2030 target? 800, 1000, 1500? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not sure what to watch next, check out another one of my videos right here. Take care, and I will see you next time.